Hello guys, good morning. This is 27th July 2024 and I'm here in Germany, in the Düsseldorf. This is the nice Oberkassel area which is just near to the Rhine River, on the bank of the Rhine River. So it's a really beautiful area, as you can see. Lush of greenery, clean grass, clean weather, clean air, and this is the river behind me. I just came here for a jogging. So I want to talk about one topic, which is why the German system is very strong, why the German social system is very strong. So I was wondering yesterday that I noticed these stats about the Germany's employment and the people who are earning money, how is their average earning, and it turned out to be that any person who is educated or uneducated, basically everyone is educated in Germany because the education is a compulsory thing. If you don't teach your children or if you don't send them to a school, it becomes a legal case. So education is a compulsory, that's why they have 100% of the literacy rate. So average salary of any person who is doing a handwork or not something to do with office work, not something a white collar work, people who are doing a blue collar works, those they earn somewhere around 1,000 euro to 1,500 euro, which is actually enough. If you ask me, it is actually enough amount for a person with even a family, maybe a wife or two kids. It is enough for that person to carry out the expenses of himself, his wife and the child with 1,500. So I was just like doing then quick calculation, how is that possible? And it is possible because most of the people who are native here, they pay very less rent. So they have very old contracts which are around like 200 or 300 euros a rent for apartment per month, which is very cheap. And on top of that, you add your utilities, your energy, your gas supplies, and that actually turn out to be around somewhere 50 euro, not max than that 50 euro. So if you calculate that, an average expense for living in an apartment and accommodation expense becomes around 250 to 350 in a worst case. I would say like a 300, let's say average. So 300 becomes your average cost of accommodation, and on top of that, whatever money you have is going to be spent in your groceries and the food. So groceries and the food, that is something Germans don't compromise on. They like to eat really good food, like to go out in the restaurants, live a luxurious life. Transportation wise, not all the people are rich enough to afford the cars, but most of them afford. If you compare that ratio, I think around 80% of the people have cars with them. People don't prefer the bike. What I mean by bike is a two-wheeler motor vehicle. They don't prefer that. They use the actual bicycle because it helps them to do physical exercise and also keep their body active. So I like that. For the shorter distance, they prefer the bicycle, but for the longer distance, they prefer the car. But car is something that actually asset that only a rich people with a certain income can afford. So there is a social transportation which is pretty good, and that makes them to not think about like buying a private vehicle. If you have a social transportation, public transportation like the Deutsche Bahn, like the local trams, U-Bahns, buses, who has a really good frequency. If you see the frequency of this mode of transport, it is very frequent. Every 15-20 minutes there is some connection from your place to a main station. They call it Hauptbahnhof, or from Hauptbahnhof there is again a connection to another city in just a 30 minutes or 30 minutes or the 40 minutes of time to another city. So I think that makes them to completely rely on the public transportation, which is a good thing. And I think the one reason why they have very less poverty and unemployment rate is their government supports them. If a person loses a job, government helps them. They have a special committee, a special department to handle it called Arbeitsagentur, which helps people to find out a new job. They actually give the references of the companies or the openings where there are to find out a new job, so that people can get a job quickly and they will not remain unemployed, because remaining unemployed is actually harming the economy of a country. So everyone tries their best to get you employed, to get you some work. And similar to the other side, government is also helping people to start their businesses. There are many initiatives goes on in a city where city government funds people to start their startups, small businesses, so that it can create a new jobs. Making a people get a job is the one thing that works on the individual level, but to make a businesses and create a job is something more challenging comparatively. The startups in the mechanical, in the civil, in the tech, in the IT, and many companies are flourishing on that front. I think these are some things which overall helps the economy on the all front. You create a new jobs, you help people find a job. You don't keep people unemployed in any way. I mean, that's a good strategy. If you keep people moving, then people will do something. People will do something for their wages, for their food, for their accommodation. They will not remain idle. And if everyone is working, then it's going to help your society in one way or another. It helps you in a smaller way, but ultimately everyone working in that smaller proportion helps to get a massive impact. This is how the philosophy of economy works. And the social security system is something I personally admire. It has to be really strong in every city, every part of the world. When you have a society in which you are living and you have a system to which you believe that it is going to support me in any circumstances. If I lose a job, I'm going to get a help from them. It creates that sense of belonging that you matter, you as a person matter, everyone is equal, irrespective of your social status, how rich you are. I really admire these things because I live in Germany, I come from India, and many times I think that why we Indians are not able to reproduce the things which Germans have already done. So I think we usually talk that okay, the European countries are rich or the Western countries are rich, but the money is not the only thing that can make you progress. Yeah, it definitely makes. I said it's not only one thing. No matter how natural resources your country have, how naturally gifted you are, if you don't have a right mentality, right belief set, it's not going to go anywhere. This is not just in case of Germany, it's not like they were gifted with the nature. They were being a part in the Europe where they are centrally placed, easily reachable to any other country, their surroundings. It was the mentality of the German people, their beliefs, their hardworking nature, their punctuality. They are very disciplined, hardworking. They like to do the things as perfect as possible. If you see the German engineering, it is top notch. The progress they have made in the mechanical industry, in the automotive industry, the Germans makes the best cars in the world. There is no argument on it. Germans make a best car. So if you see like these things, it has came from the mindset. It doesn't only came from the natural resources and the availability of the things to do. Even though you have those things available with you, you have to convert that to something else. You have to produce an outcome out of it that needs a mindset, that needs a belief. And when the mindset and belief is so social, like everyone is believe on it, it is so common, everyone agrees on it, then you have a power of the entire group believe in the same thing, want to achieve the same thing, and that's where a miracle happens. Our people are very of the diverse nature. People have their own beliefs. Some want to make a country a religious country, some want to make a progressive economical country, somebody wants to keep the traditional old orthodoxical values preserved, somebody wants to make it an agriculture country. So everyone has their own different goals focused. With that, I would like to sign off. It was just a casual talk that I thought to did. My mind is very fresh in the morning. That's why I just uttered the things which I did.